What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So, we're going to cover the whole Chris Eubank senior turning up situ. He's put an interview out now, so we're going to play some of them comments. And also have to rip, man, this guy, for me, people are saying, oh, it was beautiful to see. I don't think it was about a father-son moment. Yeah. I refrained from saying this guy, a lot of men were saying, quite rightfully so at this point, oh, he's all in it for himself. He's causing drama before the fight to make it about him. And at the time I said, listen, I don't know which way it is. I'd like to believe this guy isn't a proper egomaniac, but we'll know which is which. Yeah? When he's dropping in biblical bars, oh, God would never have this, God would never have that. I thought, okay, let's test this dude who be talking all this God rubbish as such. How much do you really believe what you're saying, right? If you believe, oh, this is unholy and whatever else, you heard what he was saying. Oh, woo, yeah? If you believe that, then you shouldn't turn up, right? And he turned up all in the video. So what he's done is, kicked a big fuss up, I'm not coming, you're a disgrace. And then last minute jumped in, oh, he's here. So no, I'm sorry. It was orchestrated, but it wasn't orchestrated in a way where, and you're going to hear the bars in a second, Eubank Senior didn't orchestrate this to create drama. He doesn't come on this video and say, hey man, bash, I hit you man with an okie doke. Publicity. Yeah? He said it was ungodly before the fight, and now after the fight he's saying, yeah, I knew the spirit told me I had to be. Come on, bro, your ego told you had to be there. Your ego told you had to kick up a fuss before the fight, and your ego told you, I'm going to come in last minute and make it more or less all about me. Yeah? That's what he did. Nigel Ben was just there, so he was a steady dramatic. He likes a dramatic. You're a disgrace, I'll never be near you. Bash, last minute, 8 p.m. I'm there. Corny, man. Not gonna lie. Anyway, here's the bars from Chris Senior.
Yeah.
When you walk together.
Yeah.
The commentator said that is the moment of the year. Watching that back and in the moment, what's the feeling?
I'm welling up now. You know, a moment of a lifetime. This looks like it's been orchestrated, like there's been a director, a physical director, for the car to pull up where it did, for me to be on the left-hand side of the car and not the right, for me to push the door open, and it got lodged just a little bit, and then it opened. I put one foot down, and there is the world's media, and I chuckled. I was directed spiritually. I'm good, but I'm not that good. That's why it moved.
Now I'll stop it there. We covered this a second ago about I was directed spiritually, man. Listen, people with big egos, what's that word they call? Not a charlatan, but not a messiah. Messiah complex, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah. When you find that a lot with biblical man, they think they're particularly inherently special. Yeah, I'm special. I know God's got a plan for me. Everyone else who's getting shit look, that's because they ain't loved by God. Them kind of bars. A lot of these men have them bars. I'm the chosen one or the chosen people. Not in all religions, they all have that elitism. I'm close to God and you're not, essentially. But this cat in particular, he's more like, what's them cult leader types? Yeah. That's what it's like. I'm not exactly. He's obviously not trying to set his own cult up yet. But the same kind of lines I'm getting. God told me this fight could never happen. After the fight, God told me I had to be there. He didn't tell you nothing, man. It was your megalomaniac ego which took you there to be in the video. And I wasn't even hating. I thought it was a bad look before the fight, but I said, listen, I don't know what way this is going to go, but I'll tell you this for free. Yeah? If he turns up there, he's been running his mouth for what? Oh, I have principles. The rules. The rules and the principles. And a son, yeah, we know Chris Senior and Junior have beef. But a son is always going to want their dad there. I've heard and seen of loads of cases where parents will just, dysfunctional parents will mug their children off. Their children, for some people, they'll constantly look for, no matter how bad their parents are, they'll look for their approval or whatever. Now, I'm not saying Eubank Senior is the worst parent ever, but Eubank Junior is always going to have them there. But from someone who's not involved, Unless this was completely scripted, which Chris doesn't imply it was. He doesn't say, yeah, it was all rigged and we played you all. Unless this is all scripted, I feel like, hey, Pops, man, sit down somewhere. Yeah? You've made me look a fool all week, stealing my shine, and now you're jumping in the last minute. It's a bit like them famous, in the UK you have it with football, or in America you have it with NFL or NBA. There's been cases where deadbeat dads, their son makes it to the NFL, yeah? Their son makes it to some big sport league and the coins are coming in, and all of a sudden a deadbeat dad who ain't seen him for 20 years pop out, oh son, I always knew you'd be great, when them one's there. It's a bit, not exactly the same, but you get the point. Popping out at a big moment after hating. That's dead. Yeah? I expect Chris Jr. to want his dad there, but from the outside, it's not how you operate. Nigel Ben, for me, is I can't really knock him, to be honest. Honestly, and that's the thing about Nigel Ben. He don't come out preaching the gospel to the masses. Yeah? Like he's perfect. That's what he don't do. Nigel Ben says, listen, man, I like two Mickeys, and I think he was off his chops. I've got a video coming soon. Watch, I swear down, watch this video, yeah? Watch Nigel Ben in the post-fight press conference in the ring. Sorry, post-fight interview in the ring. And watch when Conor Ben's being interviewed. He's off his chops, man. Off the Mickeys. But anyway, what I'm saying is, for me at least, I find people who tell the truth, man. I'm a sinner, man. I like Tutu Mickey. I like Tutu Broads. Because for most, man, that's the truth. Eubank seen it, he liked Broads, man. Document, he liked the Broads. So stop playing. Yeah, stop playing with us. What was I going to say? Yeah, Nigel Ben for me, outside of that part of it, even in the post-fight interview, in the press conference, sorry, Nigel Ben said, listen, Conor, I think you could do better, mate. Yeah? And I got a video coming soon. Nigel Ben, not throw shade, but he tells the truth. He says the things we were saying. He was doing a bit too much jumping and a whole lot of nothing, which was critical of Conor Ben. But that's the truth. Yeah, he's not coming out making it all about him. He gives some truth. He hasn't been hating on Chris Eubank Jr. Listen, Senior was like, Conor, what will your son say? What will your son say about you swearing? Chris, Senior, what would God say about you cheating on your ex-wife? Right? Let's talk about that. Let's not worry about no swearing, man. You stood there in front of God. And there's too many of these men out here, yeah? Preaching different things, and they're selling this. They're doing that. Doing a whole bunch of haram activities. Not that I care, I think it's all rubbish in them books, man. Some dude wrote it. Some megalomaniac dude, Messiah complex dude wrote all them books, in my opinion. Each to their own, I'm not judging no one. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, I'm entitled to mine. I think it's all rubbish, from me personally. All rubbish, man. Yeah, how would you know what some dude said allegedly 4,000 years ago? Really? That's mad, man. I don't know what happened 10 minutes ago. Never mind 2,000 years ago. That's just me, though. That's just me. What I don't like is people who are blatantly hypocritical. Yes, it was spiritual. God made me go there and put on, and the world could enjoy. And you saw him up there as well. He's like, almost no shame. If I'd have sat there, bearing in mind it's his son, if I'd have sat there lambasting my son, never be near you, you're a disgrace, yeah? I'd want to keep my head down and just be like, yeah, I'm here, son. I made a bit of a fool of myself, but this guy just pops out and he's like, he's got his 2-2 jig on and he's... I'm happy for Chris Jr. that he's there. Yeah? But this dude's senior, man, he off key. Anyway, here's some more bars from Chris.
The nation and the world. I got in touch with Junior. That's why it moved. And I chuckled. I was directed spiritually. I'm good, but I'm not that good. That's why it moved the nation and the world. I got in touch with Junior probably 10 minutes past 8 the night before the fight. I haven't been in touch with him. And
again, let's take what Eubank Jr.'s senior, saying as gospel. What? Who does that? Again, it's all about him. Right? You got the biggest fight of your life, yeah? You haven't spoke to your dad, and he's popping out just as you're going to sleep. The emotional toll, potentially. I don't know Chris Eubank Jr. I'm not in his head. Maybe it was cool for him. But I said a while ago, Eubank Sr. really should have been there 2-3 weeks before. Especially if you had a rocky relationship, so you're comfortable with each other. You don't pop up the night before. It's like it shows he only thinks about himself. He doesn't think about how it affects no one else. Okay, my dad's not coming. Okay, my dad is coming. 10 minutes before us, or a day before, and you just go and... Messy, man. You got to now organise all that, and will he turn up? Will he do some other freaky shit in the media? In the meantime. Messy. It doesn't show a very good... is it empathy? I'm not sure. That's probably a bad word to use, but you get the point. Empathise with, hey man, I've been dragging my son for the last few weeks. Let me just sit back in the cut like I said. I didn't, oh AB, you hate. I didn't tell him to run his mouth and say what he was going to do and the rules and everything else. He took his big mouth out there and ran it. Just sit down and play your position, man, that you talked yourself into. You could have been there, right? Or we could have said, and I've let that slide, hey man, it was the okie doke. Yeah? I did it for publicity. Now that'd be corny too, but at least that'd make more sense. Yeah, Chris Jr. was in on it all along. There was no emotional thing. It was just to cut the masses and create publicity. No, it was not that. It was about him. And that's why I believe Chris Eubank Jr., he didn't really care if his dad was there as such. He wanted him there, but he said himself, I'm not bothered if he's not there. It's not going to make no difference. And I think Senior was kind of waiting. It's a bit like, I don't know, if you're in the dating stage with a bird, and you're waiting for that text back. I feel like Chris Senior, the only reason you leave something to like 8 o'clock the night before is because you're waiting. I think Chris Senior was expecting Junior to be like, please Dad, come. And when he didn't get no text, he thought, oh damn, it's getting a bit late. It's getting a bit long in the tooth now. Oh son, I'll pop up. You know what I mean? That's the vibe I'm getting. No one really wants to find out at 8 o'clock the night before whether they go into an event or not. You normally want things a few days out at the very least. So he was waiting for the begging, I reckon. That's what he was waiting for. He was waiting to be wanted. And to be, oh, Dad, it's all about you. If Chris Jr. had said to him, Dad, it's all about you. I'm nothing without you, Dad. Please, I can't do it without you. Chris had been like, yeah, I'll think about it. Yeah, I'll think about it, son. That's the kind of vibe I get from him. He wants you to have your begging hand out. It's not the way you operate, man, in my opinion.
There for my son, I was always going to be there. Just not in anybody else's time.
And that says it all for me. Let's replay that bit there. Yeah. Oh, I was always going to be there, actually. But in my time. It's all about him. Not in Junior. Junior's the one who's got to fight. And Chris Senior, who's supposed to be an experienced warrior or whatever, he should appreciate that. He's supposed to be united front. No matter what, really. In these circumstances. Chris is a grown man. He's doing what he's doing. Like Nigel Ben did. I'm locking in. Oh, well, I will do it on my terms. With that freaky shit. And people say, oh, AB, you know, he's the world champion and what can you say? I'm just telling you the truth, man. I'll tell you this about anybody's daddy. I'll say it about my own. He's got his own flaws, right? But it's not public. If it was public, I'd say the same. It's nothing personal to no one. It's just weird. It's on my time. What about your son's time? What about how he's feeling? No one can tell me when to be there for my son. He wants to control it all and... Icky, man. Seriously. When you're on... I've been telling these old heads for a while now. These old heads need... We talk about the light skins a lot, but some of these old heads, yeah, need to tighten up. Because you, man, been lived your life. You're supposed to have been made mistakes. At least the light skin, man, we knew. We knew to this earth, essentially. How long do you think light skins have existed for, man? This is a new generation thing. Yeah? There weren't no interbreeding, so we've still got a whole history to make and make our own mistakes and whatnot with the white girls. You know what I mean? What's your excuse, Pops? Yeah? You've been on this earth. How many more decades you need to make the right choices? Stop playing, man.
Being in touch with him. Being there for my son, I was always going to be there. Just not in anybody else's time. The amount of comments, you've got to be there for your son. You've got to be there for your son. You've got to be there for your son. All this time I'm thinking, every time I read it, okay, I'm not even reading that because the fight's not going to happen. And let me be clear on this. Until the referee said box, I would have bet my life this fight wouldn't have happened.
What happened in that conversation?
So...
anyway, people, there it is. The fight's done now. Whatever. It will happen again. But this dude ain't principles, essentially. Or he's a deceiver that they talk about. Yeah? Says one thing, does another. Either way you look at it, man. They don't believe what he's saying, or he's deceiving you. Oh, I have principles, rules. That's fine. I didn't necessarily agree with the principles or rules he was talking about, but as a man, you're entitled to be ruled and principled with what you want. Actually, I was always going to be there. That's dead. Sorry. That's the worst thing ever from these old heads, man. We expect the new man to be like that. Brand spanking new. Messy, messy, messy. You're supposed to be like, I'm the old head. I'm principled. Bosh. I rolled it to the wheels fell off. You're just messy now. Yeah, I say a bit of this, say a bit of that. I say whatever will get my face in the video. Puff Daddy. All in the video, man. Yeah? If this was 1990s, Nigel Ben will be Suge Knight. And Chris Eubank Sr. will be Puff Daddy. He all in the video, man. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe. Lick off the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this on people. Stop it. Bye.